Hey, welcome back. Today we are diving into something that I promise you most business owners have completely wrong. Like, you have heard people say you need systems, right? Every business coach, every book, every podcast, get your systems in order. But here's the thing nobody actually tells you. What does a system even look like? What are the actual pieces that make a process work? Because here's what I see all the time, and Kevin, you have seen this too. Business owners spend weeks, months, sometimes years trying to build processes that just fall apart. The process exists in their head or on a sticky note somewhere or buried in a Slack message, and they wonder why nothing's consistent, why they can't step away, why every new hire takes 3 months to feel useful. Today, we are breaking down the anatomy of a perfect business process, like literally what it is made of. Every part, every component. And by the end of this, you are going to be able to look at any process in your business and immediately know what is broken and why.
Yeah, and this is honestly one of those lessons I wish existed when I started. Like nobody hands you the blueprint. You figure it out the hard way, usually after something breaks badly enough that you have to fix it.
Okay, so Kevin, let's start with the most basic thing. When most people say, I have a process, what are they actually describing?
Right. So, okay, this is going to sound harsh, but most of the time when someone says they have a process, what they actually have is a habit. Like it is a thing they do the same way every time, but it's only in their head. There's nothing written down, there's no way to hand it off. If they got hit by a bus tomorrow, the whole thing disappears. That's not a process, that's just muscle memory.
Muscle memory. I love that. And the difference is massive, right? Like an actual process has specific components. It's a structure. And when even one of those components is missing, the whole thing starts to break down.
Exactly. So let's talk about what those components actually are. The anatomy, the 7 pieces.
Clarifying. Number one, the trigger. Every perfect process starts with a trigger, something that tells you or your team this process needs to start right now. It could be a customer inquiry coming in. It could be a sale closing. It could be the 15th of every month. The trigger is the ignition switch.
And this is like the one people most often skip. They'll document all the steps, like here's what you do, step 1, step 2, but they never define what actually starts it. So what happens? The process gets done inconsistently. Sometimes someone starts it on Monday, sometimes Thursday. Sometimes it doesn't happen at all because no one was sure if it was their job to kick it off.
Totally. And you see this especially with like customer onboarding processes. I was talking to someone in financial services recently, and this is something that comes up constantly with businesses in that space. They had this beautiful onboarding checklist, super detailed, but there was no trigger. So half the time, clients fell through the cracks at the very beginning before anything even started.
Informatively. Number 2, the owner. Every process has to have one person responsible for the outcome, not the whole team, not whoever is available, one person.
And not just responsible for doing the work, responsible for the result. If the process doesn't get completed, there's one person who has to answer for it. That clarity is everything.
Yeah, and okay, here's where it gets real. In a lot of small businesses, the owner is the owner of every process, which is, that's the problem we're going to come back to.
Yeah, we will. We definitely will. Okay, number 3, the steps. And I know this sounds obvious, but here's the thing. Steps need to be, what's the word?
Transferable.
Transferable, yes. They need to be written so that someone who has never done this task before can, like, pick up the document and do it correctly. Not just send the invoice. Which invoice? To who? Using what template? With what subject line? At what point in the conversation? Like, the specificity is what makes it work.
This is where I always use the new hire test. Like imagine your ideal new employee, smart, motivated, but knows nothing about your business. Can they read this process and execute it? If the answer is no, the steps aren't specific enough.
I love that. The new hire test. Okay, number 4, tools and resources. Every step in a process requires something: a software tool, a template, a login, a contact, a reference document. A perfect process documents all of it. Because you know what kills momentum? You're halfway through a process and you realize you don't have access to the thing you need. You stop, you ask, you wait, and the whole flow breaks.
Real talk, this is the one that VA agencies almost universally miss. Like you hire a virtual assistant, you say, here's the task, but you don't give them the resources list. And then you're confused why they can't execute. It's not the VA, it's the missing component.
Right. And this is so important because I hear this complaint all the time from business owners. Like, my virtual assistant can't seem to get this right. And when you dig into it, it's almost never about the person. It's about what they were and weren't given to work with.
Yeah, and honestly, the most successful delegations I've ever seen have one thing in common. The person handing off the task was insanely clear about what tools were needed at every single step, not assumed, documented.
Exactly. And that actually leads us perfectly into, okay, we're going to take a quick breath here, but before we do, if you're watching this and you're already thinking, oh no, this is me, I don't have any of this, first of all, you're in good company. Like, most business owners don't. And second of all, there's actually a free resource we have at quiz.myprosulum.com that will literally score your business's systematization level. Like, you answer a few questions, it tells you exactly where your biggest operational bottleneck is. Super useful. Takes like 2 minutes.
It's actually pretty eye-opening. Like most people go in thinking they're at a 7 or an 8 out of 10, and they come out realizing they're at a 3. And that's okay, because now you know where you actually are.
Totally. Okay, and we're going to keep moving because we still have 3 more components to cover. And honestly, the next one, number 5, is the one that I think causes the most invisible damage in a business. Like, processes blow up because of this one all the time, and owners don't even realize it's happening.
Okay, so what is number 5?
Decision points. This is the one that, gets me most excited to talk about, honestly, because this is where most processes completely fall apart and nobody really talks about it.
Say more.
Okay, so a process is never fully linear. There's always a point where something goes left or right depending on a condition. Like if the customer says, yes, do this. If they say, no, do that. Or if the invoice is under $500, auto-approve. If it's over, escalate. Those are decision points. And if your process document doesn't map them out, if it's just a straight list of steps, then the moment something deviates from perfect, the whole thing falls apart.
And what usually happens is the team member stops and asks the business owner because there was no guidance baked in.
Exactly, which, pulls the owner back into the process, which was the whole problem to begin with.
Yeah. Okay, number 6, output or deliverable. What is the finished product of this process? What does done look like? Is it a sent email? Is it a filed document? Is it a task marked complete in the project management tool? This has to be specific because without, a defined output, you get a lot of activity with no clear finish line.
And you also can't, replicate it. You can't train on it, you can't check someone's work if you don't know what good looks like.
And that brings us to number 7, which is quality standard. How do you know the process was done correctly, not just done? This is usually a checklist or a metric or a comparison to a standard. Like, a customer service process isn't just respond to the email, it's respond within 4 hours using the approved template with a resolution proposed or a follow-up time given. That is the quality standard.
So let's do a quick recap of all 7. You've got your trigger, your owner, your steps, your tools and resources, your decision points, your output, and your quality standard. That is the anatomy. Every single process in your business should have all 7.
And here's the hard truth, right? Most businesses are missing at least 4 of those 7 for every major process, which is why they're trapped, which is why the owner can't step away, which is, why every new hire is a 3-month training project that still ends in frustration.
Because the process lives in one person's head, and that person is usually the owner.
And this is actually something I think about a lot because there's this idea that if you just hire the right person, the process problem goes away. Like find someone who gets it and they'll just figure it out.
Which is a fantasy.
Total fantasy. The right person with a broken or missing process will still produce inconsistent results every time because the process is broken, not the person.
I think about this example. Kyle Seagraves runs a huge YouTube channel about mortgages, Win the House You Love. And when he first came to Sulum, he was like drowning. He was managing over 100 YouTube comments a day, 300 referral requests a month, 30 daily text conversations, all while trying to create content. He thought his problem was bandwidth. He thought it just needed help.
But it was really a process problem.
Exactly. The work wasn't documented. The decision points weren't mapped. There was no quality standard for how comments should be handled. So when he got support, it still wasn't working because the anatomy was missing.
And the thing that actually changed everything was, and this is where it gets relevant to what we do at Sulum, teaching him to think about every task as a documentable process, like treat every repeatable action as something that can be broken down, documented, and handed off.
And within 3 days of that shift, 3 days, the support he had could independently handle complex mortgage-related YouTube comments on a technical, regulated topic in 3 days.
Because the anatomy was there.
Okay, so here's where I want to connect all of this to the real world. Because understanding the anatomy is great, but for most business owners watching this, and I know you because you're watching a business course on YouTube, the problem isn't that you don't understand you need processes. It's that you don't have time to build them.
Right. And this is the real pain. You know what needs to happen. You've probably even started writing some stuff down, but you're also running a business. You're making sales calls, managing clients, handling the thing that blew up this morning. You don't have 8 hours to sit down and document your onboarding process in perfect detail.
And this is honestly where, at Sulum, this is what we built our whole model around. Our VSAs, virtual systems architects, they don't just take tasks off your plate. They build the anatomy as they work. You record a 5-minute video showing someone what you do. They watch it, document it with screenshots, create the SOP, and then do the task going forward.
So you're not carving out time to document. The documentation happens as a natural byproduct of the work getting done.
Which is wild when you think about it, because every business owner's dream is to have documented processes. But nobody wants to sit down and write the documentation, so it just never happens.
And then they hire someone, the processes still aren't documented, the person can't do the job well, and the owner ends up doing it themselves again. Classic cycle.
We have seen this across, honestly, over 40 different industries: real estate, financial services, restaurants, managed service providers, e-commerce, content creators. And Paul Tran at Halal Guys, 10 locations, 15 million in annual sales, and he runs almost all of it with one VSA. Been working together for 5 years.
5 years. That's not a virtual assistant story. That's a system story.
Exactly. And here's something that a lot of people ask us about, what does this actually cost? And the short answer is it's a fraction of what an in-house hire costs. We're talking roughly half or less than what you'd pay a full-time employee when you factor in salary, taxes, benefits, office space. And our VSAs go through a 6-tier hiring process. Only about 3 out of every 100 applicants even make it through. So the quality is not a question.
And that matters because the thing that makes a VSA different from a regular virtual assistant is they are detail-oriented by design. They love checking things off. They make sure nothing falls through the cracks. You're not micromanaging them. They're running the process.
Now, if you want to start somewhere right now, even before you're ready to bring on support, go to instant.myprosulum.com. It's a free SOP generator we built. You describe a task you do regularly, it generates a structured process for you, instantly, delivered right to your inbox. It's a great way to start building that anatomy, even on your own.
And if you want to know where your business actually stands from a system standpoint, go to quiz.myprosulum.com. It gives you a real systemization health score and tells you exactly what to fix first. Like not generic advice, actual clarity.
Okay, let me close this out. What we covered today, the anatomy of a perfect business process, 7 components: trigger, owner, steps, tools and resources, decision points, output, and quality standard. Miss any one of them, and the process breaks. And most businesses are missing most of them. The reason your business feels chaotic, the reason you can't step away, can't hire effectively, can't scale, it's not because you're bad at business. It's because the anatomy is incomplete.
And the good news is, once you know what you're looking for, you can fix it. You can audit any process you have today against these 7 components and immediately see the gaps. That clarity is powerful.
If this hit a nerve, and I genuinely think for a lot of you it did, and you want to explore what having a VSA on your team would actually look like for your business, I want you to go to prosulum.com and book a free discovery call. Not a sales call, a discovery call. We want to understand your business first. We want to hear about your processes, your pain points, where things are breaking down, and if we're a good fit, great. If not, you'll still walk away with a lot more clarity about what to do next. Zero pressure. I mean that.
And honestly, the businesses that move fastest with this stuff are the ones who stop waiting until they have time to build systems. You never have time. You make the time, or you find a way to have it done alongside the work. That's kind of the whole point.
Yeah. All right. That is it for today. If this was useful, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. I genuinely want to know which one of those 7 components is the weakest in your business right now. Is it the trigger, the quality standard, something else? Let me know. We will see you in the next one.
See you there.